Good evening, guys. Good evening. I believe you can hear me. If you can hear me, I want you to drop a comment. Can you hear me? How are you doing today? Can you hear me? If you can hear me, I want you to drop a comment. Sure you had a great weekend. How are you doing? If you can hear me, I want to see your comments. And how prepared are you for the new trading week? What pairs are you considering trading this week? Drop it in the comment section. I'd like to know the pairs you're considering trading this week so that we can look at those pairs together. I want to see your comments. I want to see your comments. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Drop your comments. I welcome you all to tonight's market analysis session. This is very necessary. It's very necessary that we meet once in a week to plan for the new week. Yeah, it's very important. Very important. You need to plan your week. You need to plan your trading week, and that is the essence of this session. It is not when the market opens you start looking for instruments to trade. Before the market opens, you've done your homework, you've done your analysis, and you know the pairs that you'll be trading that week. Please, if you can hear me, let me know. Am I audible? Am I audible? I need to see your comment to be sure you guys can hear me. I want to be sure I'm not just talking to myself. Can you hear me? I don't know what's been happening this past few days. The network has really been challenging. How is it at your hand? How is it at your hand? Can you hear me? Am I audible? Mr. Abraham, am I audible? All right, thank you. Thank you. Good evening, Mr. Abraham. Okay, thank you. So if there's any instrument you want us to analyze, just drop it in the comment section. Now, the first thing or the first instrument we'll be looking at is the dollar index. As you know, the dollar index is used to measure the strength of the dollar. Okay, the dollar index is used to measure the strength of the dollar. If dollar index is bullish, then we should expect the dollar to be strong. Okay, and so if we are considering trading GBP USD, any pair that has USD as the counter, we will be considering selling those pairs. Any pair that has USD as the counter, we would expect price to go bearish because the dollar is strong. And any pair that has USD as the base, we would expect a bullish move on those pairs. I hope that is clear. So the first thing I do before market opens is to check the dollar index chart. Okay, so we'll start with the weekly time frame. Good evening, Mr. Eze. So let's start with the dollar index. What is the trend or what is the pattern on the dollar index chart? Okay, now you would see that last week candle closed bullish, strongly bullish. That is an indication that there's a high probability that dollar index or the dollar will be bullish this week. Okay, with this setup we have here, it indicates that the dollar is likely going to be bullish this week. Now, let's go down to daily time frame. Let's see what we have on the daily time frame. Okay, so if you look at the daily time frame, we can see the pattern we have here is a bullish pattern, right? The pattern we have here is a bullish pattern. Okay, sorry, let me go to the chart because I don't have trading view. I don't know how it's done. I can't find the crush air too, so let me switch to MT4. let me go to MT4. Okay, so this is the XY. Good, good. Okay, so let's start with the weekly time frame. So you could see last week candle closed strongly bullish, right? It closed strongly bullish, but if you look at the monthly time frame, you would see here we had a shooting star, which indicates change in trend from bullish to bearish. So I think this bullish move we experienced last week, we saw in the market last week, was to fill a fair value gap that was created after the formation of this bearish candle. That's my take. So let's go down to daily. Let's see. I think that pullback was to fill a fair value gap, and if you go to the daily, you can see the fair value gap that was created here. Can you see the fair value gap that was created after the shifts in market structure? Can you see the fair value gap that was created? Can you see that gap after this shift in market structure or break of structure? Yeah, this is break of structure. Can you see the fair value gap that was created? And you can see last week that gap got filled. Can you see that? That gap got filled, and at that zone, you can see the candlestick pattern that formed at that zone on the daily time frame. Can you see that? The pattern we have at that zone is a spinning top. It is a spinning top, which indicates change in trend from bullish to bearish. So there is a high probability that DXY would go bearish this week. Okay, there is a high probability that DXY will go bearish. So if DXY will go bearish, I'm looking for a buy opportunity on GBP USD, Euro USD, Australian dollar USD, and New Zealand USD. Few minutes, please. Okay, so I'm expecting DXY to go bearish this week. Now we have to wait for Monday candlestick to close, because the spinning top that formed is a bullish spinning top. It is a bullish spinning top. So before we sell, we need to wait for Monday candlestick to close bearish. Now, if we don't want to wait for Monday candlestick to close bearish, if we want to trade London session tomorrow or New York session, what we need to do is go down to 4-hour time frame. After the formation of this spinning top on the daily time frame, if we switch down to 4-hour time frame and we're able to identify a bearish reversal pattern on 4-hour time frame, that is, if the 4-hour time frame is in agreement with the daily time frame, then we could consider trading the setup tomorrow. Okay, we could consider looking for sell or buy setup on the major currency pairs. I hope that is clear. So let's switch to 4-hour. Let's see the pattern we have on 4-hour. So you can see the pattern we have on 4-hour. This pattern is not a valid bearish pattern. Though we have shooting star, we have what's it called? Spinning top, hanging man. Okay, it's not a valid bearish pattern. So my expectation on DXY tomorrow will be that I want to see this liquidity, the liquidity at this previous high. I want to see them clear liquidity at this previous high. Okay, I want to see them clear liquidity at this previous high on DXY before it goes bearish, or this support should be broken. This support should be broken. You can see, we could say that price has been in a range, right? Price has been in a range. DXY on 4-hour, it has been in a range. So before price will go bearish, I'm sure they want to hunt for stop losses at these previous highs, because a lot of retail traders would have executed. So they will definitely want to hunt for stop losses at this previous high before pushing price down. That's my expectation on DXY. So this week, I'm considering buying GBP USD, Australian dollar USD, New Zealand USD, and Euro USD. Those are the pairs I'm considering buying this week because the dollar is weak. The dollar is weak. I hope that is clear on the dollar. Now let's go to currency pairs. Let's start with Australian dollar USD. We'll start with the weekly time frame. That's the first time frame we'll look at. The weekly time frame will define the trend for the week. Okay? The weekly time frame will define the trend for the week. So you can see what we have on the weekly time frame. Can you see that? 2 weeks ago, right? Price tested this resistance. Can you see that? And there was a strong rejection from that level. And after the close of last week candle closed bearish, a new support was formed. Sorry, a new resistance was formed, right? So now we have a supply zone, or you call it your resistance zone, because if you go back here, you will see that that level was a support also at this area. Can you see that? So this is our what? Supply zone. This is our supply zone. Okay, so also you would see that a fair value gap, please pay attention, you would see that the fair value gap was created here. Can you see the fair value gap? Can you see the gap in between the low of this candle and also the high of this candle? Can you see that gap? Can you see the gap? The low of this candle and the high of this candle. So I believe 2 weeks ago what they did was to fill that gap. You can see 2 weeks ago what they did was to fill that gap, and you can see right now the market is currently trading below that fair value gap. So there is a high probability for Australian dollar USD to go bearish, right? To go bearish. Are you with me? Are you with me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Sorry, please. I expect Australian dollar USD to go bullish, please. Remember I said the dollar would go bearish. If the dollar will go bearish, then Australian dollar USD would be bullish. Do you get it? If dollar goes bearish, Australian dollar USD will be bullish. Okay? So after the close of last week, and let's switch down to daily. I believe on a daily time frame, after the breakout of this candle, after this candlestick broke out from, after it broke out from this resistance, can you see this resistance we had here? After this candlestick broke out from this resistance, I believe a fair value gap was created on 4-hour or 1-hour time frame. Okay, I believe a fair value gap was created on daily, 4-hour or 1-hour time frame. So let's go down to daily before we switch to 4-hour. And I believe that is the reason for the pullback we saw in the market last week. This pullback we saw in the market last week was as a result of the fair value gap that was created after the close of this candlestick above this resistance. So let's go down to 4-hour. Let's go to daily. So can you see what we have on the daily? Can you see the fair value gap that was created on the daily time frame? Can you see? So I believe price is likely going to fill this gap. Okay, price is likely going to fill this gap. That's my expectation on Australian dollar USD. Okay, as you can see, there was a shift in market structure at this point. Can you see? After a shift in market structure, you wait for price to pull back to fill the fair value gap. You could also apply Fibonacci. If you don't know how to identify fair value gap, just pick your Fibonacci tool apply it on this from swing low to swing high. Can you see that? Swing low to swing high. Wait for price to pull back to a discount level before you execute a buy trade. So my bias on AUD USD is bullish. I hope that is clear. So I want to see price fill this gap before buying Australian dollar USD. Please do not forget, this week is FOMC week. FOMC will be released on Wednesday. FOMC will be released on Wednesday, and that would also have a high impact. It's an high impact news. It would determine where price would go to. Okay, so please note, FOMC will be released on Wednesday. Personally, I wouldn't be trading the USD pairs until Wednesday. I wouldn't be trading the USD pairs until Wednesday, or probably on Thursday. Okay, so I think the pairs I'll be trading tomorrow, Tuesday, Wednesday will be cross currency pairs, probably the JPY pairs. Those are the pairs I'll be trading Monday, Tuesday, and maybe Wednesday. I think I'll be considering trading the USD pairs on Wednesday or Thursday. Okay, because most times when a major news like FOMC is being expected, the USD pairs will go in a range. Price will just go in a range on those USD pairs before Wednesday that the FOMC will be released. So I'm not going to be trading USD pairs before Wednesday. I hope that is clear. If there's any pair you want us to analyze, please drop it in the comment section. Drop it in the comment section. So that's my bias on Australian dollar USD. I'm bullish on Australian dollar USD this week. Let's move to the next pair, Euro USD. So let's start with the weekly time frame. So you can see last week candle closed bearish. Okay, we had a resistance here. This was a resistance. Okay, and I believe that was the reason for that rejection. That's the reason for that rejection. And I believe a fair value gap was created after the formation of this bullish candle. I believe a fair value gap was created on, let's check daily. So on the daily, let's go down to 4 hour. So on 4 hour, you can see the fair value gap that was created at this point. Can you see? So I think, can you see the fair value gap? If that gap gets filled, then we should expect a bullish move on Euro USD. I believe they want to clear liquidity at this previous low. They would want to clear liquidity at this previous low. A lot of retail traders would have executed buy after the formation of this spinning bottom. After the formation of this spinning bottom, a lot of retail traders would have executed buy, and their stop losses would be at this low. Okay, so I'm sure they will want to clear liquidity at this previous low before pushing price up. I hope you get that. So if you are considering buying Euro USD, wait for price to fill this gap. Wait for price to fill this gap before you buy. That is my take on Euro USD. I am bullish on Euro USD. Let's see what we have on 1 hour. So you can see what we have on 1 hour. So wait for price to fill that gap before you buy Euro USD. That's my take on Euro USD. And if you are buying Euro USD, let's go back to the weekly time frame. If you are buying Euro USD, the next area of liquidity will be the high of this candle. That will be the next area of liquidity. There are a lot of pending orders, buy stop orders candle. Then the next draw on liquidity will be this on Euro USD. I hope that is clear. I hope that is clear. Okay, so let's move to the next pair. If you have any question, please drop it in the comment section. I can see Mr. David, I can see Mr. Eze, I can see Mr. Peter, I can see Mr. Favor. You all are welcome. I'm so excited to have you guys in the class. I'm so excited. Please, if you are getting value from this stream, please like the stream. And if this is your first time participating in this live stream, you are welcome, highly welcome. Kindly subscribe to the channel so that you get notification from YouTube each time I come online or I drop a video. Okay, there is so much value I will be dishing out. I'll be dishing out. Like I told you guys, follow me consistently for 3 months. If you follow me consistently 3 months, if you participate in this live stream in 3 months and you don't experience change in your trading, you should just unsubscribe. Just unsubscribe. 3 months consistently. Follow me 3 months consistently. You would become successful. You would become successful. If you are a losing trader right now, it could be that from being a losing trader, you will move to a break-even trader. From being a break-even trader, you will become a profitable trader. If you do the things that you are asked to do, if you're disciplined, you will definitely be a profitable trader. Okay, so let's move to the next page. GBP USD. GBP USD, you can see the pattern we have on GBP USD is similar to the pattern we have on Euro USD, right? Price tested a resistance level at this point, and there was a strong pullback. Can you see the resistance? Can you see the resistance? This resistance is the reason for the pullback. Can you see? That's the reason for the pullback, this resistance zone, or you call it your supply zone. Okay, that's the reason. So let's go down to daily and 4 hour to identify the fair value gap. I believe this pullback is to fill the fair value gap that was created on daily after the breakout. Can you see on daily? So on GU, let's apply Fibonacci. We're taking it from this swing low to swing high. We want to see price pull back to a discount level before we buy. Okay, so I think we have a very small fair value gap at this point. A very small one. Can you see it? Very small fair value gap. So this is where I'll be considering buying. That is where I would be considering buying GU. Okay, that is where I'll be considering buying GU. 1.2674. Okay, that is where I'll be considering buying GU. When price drops into this zone, I want to see a bullish reversal pattern form in that zone. I wouldn't just jump in and start buying because price has filled that gap. No, the bullish pattern, the candlestick pattern that will form in that zone will determine if it's going to be the right time for me to buy. So it has to be a bullish reversal pattern, hammer engulfing pattern, or inverted hammer. It could be a doji or a spinning bottom. That is what I'll be looking out for inside this gap. I think FOMC will be released by 6 or 7 p.m. Let me check the calendar. Check Forex Factory. Okay, on Forex Factory you'll find the time. I think it's usually used to be 7 p.m., 8 p.m. Nigerian time. Okay, 7 p.m. or 8 p.m. Nigerian time. Check Forex Factory, please. I'm on Forex Factory now, please. Let me confirm the time. Can you guys hear me? Can you hear me? Can you guys 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 hear me? I think the network is down. Can you hear me? I believe you guys can hear me. Okay, so that's my take on GBP USD. That's my take on GBP USD. Okay, let's move to. I'm trying to check the calendar, please. Trying to check the calendar. Okay, that's 7 p.m. Yeah, 7 p.m. 7 p.m. Nigerian time. 7 p.m. Okay, so that's my take on GBP USD. The news will be released 7 p.m. Nigerian time on Wednesday. Okay, so let's move to the next page. Please, if there's any instrument you want us to analyze, okay, gold. Let's move to gold. Gold, very important. We can't end the session without looking at gold. Very important. Let's move to gold. Okay, okay. So as we can see, let's start with the weekly time frame. So on gold, what I see here is a bearish setup. This is a bearish setup. This is a bearish setup. You can see what played out 2 weeks ago. They cleared liquidity at this previous high on gold. Liquidity was cleared at this previous high. Then after the clear on liquidity, what pattern do we have on daily? Let's see if we can identify a bearish reversal pattern on daily. Then we should expect a bearish move on gold. Let's check gold. Let's check gold. Let's go to daily time frame. So with the pattern we have here on gold, this is a bearish pattern, right? But for more confirmation, we need to wait for price to close below the low of this candle. Okay, if a candle closes below the low of this candle, then you might want to consider selling gold. You can see that price has tested the low of this bullish candle. You can see that price has tested this low of this candle several times, and there has been a lot of rejection from that level. Can you see that? So for us to sell gold, we want to ensure that a candle closes below this low. There must be a breakout. Then after the breakout, there's a high probability that a fair value gap will be created. So after the breakout, we want to ensure that price pull back to fill the fair value gap before we sell gold. Okay, this is a bearish setup on gold. This is a bearish setup on gold. Okay, so you can see price is currently at this support level. You can see. So if it successfully breaks out from this demand zone, then we can jump in and start selling gold. You can jump in and start selling gold. You can see it has been in a range for some time. From this point to this point, it has been in a range, and it's currently at the low of that range or at the support. So we could see price pull back or price break out from this demand zone. That's my take on gold. I expect gold to go bearish this week. That's my take on gold. Okay, I hope that is clear. Okay, I hope that is clear on gold. Mr. Abraham, I hope that is clear. Let's go to EJ. Jeremiah said we should look at EJ. Let's look at EJ. That's 0 JPY. So last week candle closed bullish. Last week candle closed new support, right? Formed a new support, and also at this point we had a support which became a resistance. So price is currently sitting down on a demand zone now. It's sitting on a demand zone or a support zone. Okay, and the next area or draw liquidity could be this high. Okay, now let's go down to daily time frame. After the close of this bullish candle last week, let's go to daily. Now, if you look at the daily time frame, you would see that we had a fair value gap here. We have a very small fair value gap here. Let's go down to 4 hours to be able to identify the fair value gap. It's, it's not too clear on daily. So let's go to 4 hours. So you can see on 4 hours, we had a fair value gap was created here. The question now is, could it be that they just want to fill this gap before pushing price down? Okay, so you can see this fair value gap that was created on EJ, and you can see the pattern that formed. Okay, the last 4 hour candle closed as what? A spinning top, which indicates change in trend from bullish to bearish. So I think EJ would go bearish. Okay, we would expect a pullback, okay, on EJ. Based on daily and 4 hour time frame, EJ is likely going to go bearish. EJ is likely going to go bearish this week. Okay, so I believe they want to hunt for stop losses because they know a lot of beta traders would have executed sell, and their stop losses will be at this level. So I'm sure they would want to push price up to fill this gap before pushing price down. That's my take on Euro JPY. I would be looking for sell opportunity on Euro JPY this week. I will be looking for sell opportunity on Euro JPY this week. I hope that is clear, Mr. Jeremiah. Let's go down to 1 hour. Let's see the pattern we have on 1 hour. So you can see what we have on 1 hour. It's not this is not a valid bearish reversal pattern on 1 hour. It's not a valid reversal pattern. So I'm sure they're going to push price up to clear liquidity at this previous high before pushing price down. Okay, so as you can see, a fair value gap was created on 1 hour time frame. So I want to see price pull back to fill this gap. If I tell you are considering buying, you should patiently wait for price to pull back and fill this gap that was created, okay, before you consider buying. So that's my expectation on Euro JPY. I want to see price drop down to fill this gap before I would buy. Yes, Euro USD, Australian dollar USD, and GBP USD, I said we should expect a bullish move, but we would expect price to pull back. Okay, so it's likely going to go bearish to fill a fair value gap before it go bullish. I hope you get that, Mr. Ned. I said Euro USD, Australian dollar USD, and GBP USD is likely going to be bullish this coming week. But before the bullish move, we would see a pullback. There will be a pullback on Euro USD, Australian dollar USD, and GBP. Gold is bullish. I hope you get that, Mr. Ned. I hope you get that. I hope you get that. The card. Yes, USD card. Okay. So let's start with the weekly. Nice, good. So what do we have on USD card? You can see last week candle. You can see last 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago, price tested this resistance level, and there was a strong rejection from that level, right? And last week, you can see it was bullish. The candle closed bullish. Why did it close bullish? A lot of retail traders would have executed sell after the formation of this bearish candle. A lot of retail traders would have executed sell, and their stop losses will be at this level. Okay, their stop losses will be at this level. That is the reason for this pullback that we saw in the market last week. Okay, now let's go down to daily time frame. I'm sure a fair value gap was created after the formation of this bearish candle. After the formation of this bearish candle, I'm sure a fair value gap was created on daily and 4-hour. So price had to pull back last week to fill that gap. That is what I think played out last week. But let's go down to lower time frame and confirm a fair value gap was created. Let's go to daily. So you can see on daily, good. You can see on daily. You can see the fair value gap that was created on the daily time frame, and I think that gap has been filled. We have a good setup on, you can see. Can you see? So last week, the gap on USD card got filled. That was the reason for that pullback. That was the reason for that pullback we saw last week. You can see this fair value gap. Price had to pull back, fill that gap, and that gap has been filled. And you can see the pattern we have here. This is a spinning top. Spinning top indicating change in trend from bullish to bearish. Okay, but based on this daily pattern, this spinning top is a bullish spinning top. We are supposed to wait for Monday candle to close. If Monday candle closes bearish, if it closes bearish, that is a sell for USD card for the week. USD card would go bearish. It will go bearish if Monday candlestick closes bearish. Okay, USD card will go bearish. Now let's go down to 4-hour. After the formation of this spinning top on daily, let's go to 4-hour. What pattern do we have on 4-hour? So you can see the pattern we have on 4-hour. Okay, we also have a bearish reversal pattern on 4-hour. Okay, we also had a bearish reversal pattern. You can see this is a spinning top. Like I said, a lot of retail traders would have executed set, so there's a high probability they would want to push price up to clear liquidity before they go bearish. Before they go bearish, they would push price up. Okay, so that push up could occur on Monday, Tuesday before FOMC. Okay, that push up could occur between Monday and Tuesday before FOMC news. That's my expectation. But if a 4-hour candle closes below this or play out on USD card, okay, first they might want to push price up to clear liquidity at this previous high before going bearish, or price could just go bearish, close below this support. So you can go in and start selling if a 4-hour candle closes below this support. But I'm sure 70% sure that they want to push prices up before going bearish. They want to push prices up before going bearish. I hope that is clear. I hope that is clear. So USD card, my bias for USD card is bearish. I hope that is clear. Is there any other pair you want us to look at? Is there any other pair? Is there any other pair you want us to analyze? Let me know. Let me know. We have less than 10 minutes to end this session. If you are yet to like this stream, please do. If you are yet to like this stream, please do. Also, if you are yet to subscribe, please subscribe to the channel. Which other pair do you want us to analyze? USD CHF. Okay, let's see USD CHF. So you can see on USD CHF, let's start with the weekly. You can see the pattern we have on USD CHF is a bearish reversal pattern. Okay, this is daily. Let's start with the weekly. Okay, so this is the weekly. The pattern we have here is similar to what we have on USD card. So we have, okay, and we had the resistance here, okay. So you can see this was a previous support which became a resistance. Then this resistance here, you can see they had to push price up to clear liquidity at this previous high. That was what played out. Okay, this bullish move was to clear liquidity and that of these candles here, they know a lot of retail traders would have executed sell. That was why they had to push price up to clear liquidity at this previous high, and that they have achieved. Okay, they have achieved that. So last week or 2 weeks ago, I believe, after the formation of this candlestick, this bearish candlestick, you know after the formation of a shooting star, yeah, USD should have gone bearish after the close of this candle. This looks like a shooting star. USD should have gone bearish, okay? But you would see that the next candle, since the we have to wait for the next candle to close bearish, and you can see the next candle closed as a doji, so we wouldn't have executed a sell. The next one that closed also closed shooting star, which is not a confirmation, a valid confirmation to sell. So this is the first candle that closed bearish, so this is where we would have executed a sell trade on USD CHF. So I believe after the formation of this bearish candlestick, a fair value gap was created, and I think that was the reason price went bullish last week. A fair value gap was created. So let's go down to lower time frame. You will see a fair value gap that was created after the formation of that bearish candlestick 2 weeks ago. Let's go down to daily, and that was the reason price had to pull back. Okay, so you can see this fair value gap on daily. Can you see? Okay, we had a fair value gap here. Okay, now let's go down to, I want us to go down to 4 hour. I believe there's a fair value gap on 4 hour. Let's go to 4 hour. So can you see on 4 hour, can you see this fair value gap? And that gap has been filled. So if you want to sell USDC candle, wait for a candle. The reason price broke this fair value gap is this. That's the reason. The reason you can see why that fair value gap price broke out from that fair value gap. This high here. This high here. They had to come and clear liquidity at this high. That's why price broke out from this fair value gap. Okay, so for us to sell USD we need to wait for price to break this support. Okay, we need to wait for price to break this support. So if a bearish candlestick closes below the support, that is when you should consider selling USD. And if USD breaks that support, your first area of liquidity, this will be your first target. Then your second target, the next draw on liquidity will be at this level. Okay, then your third target could be this low. That's my take on USD. My bias is bearish on USD. Okay, so Euro Aussie, the last pair for tonight's session, Euro Aussie. If you have any question, just drop it in the comment section. So let's look at Euro Aussie. Euro Aussie. Euro Aussie. Last week candle closed. It closed bullish, right? It closed bullish, and it tested this resistance. You can see the resistance that was created 2 weeks ago. It tested that resistance level. If you go back here also, you see we had a resistance here, right? So this is our supply zone, or you call it a resistance zone. So I believe after the formation of this candle that looks like a shooting 2 weeks ago, previous week, I believe a fair value gap was created. I believe a fair value gap was created on daily time frame, or 4 hour time frame, or 1 hour time frame. So let's go down to daily to identify the fair value gap. I believe that was the reason price had to pull back to fill that fair value gap. So here is the fair value gap. Okay, here is the fair value gap on 4 hour. Okay, fair value gap would be filled before Euro Aussie goes bearish. This gap should be filled before you consider Euro Aussie. Okay, so you can see the pattern we have here is not a valid bearish reversal pattern, and the truth is most retail traders would have executed sell, right? Most retail traders would have executed clear the stop losses, liquidity, okay, at these highs before pushing price down. That's my take on Euro Aussie. I'm considering selling Euro Aussie this week. That's my bias, bearish. Okay, so that I appreciate you all for your participation, and I wish you all a profitable trading week. The conversation would start. If you're not on the WhatsApp group, send me a message. Okay, send me a message on on WhatsApp so that I can add you to the group. For I will be having a session with you guys later today or tomorrow. Okay. Okay, so Mr. David, I will do a video on DXY. I'll drop the analysis maybe later on, or you watch the, what's it called? Watch the replay. I'll drop the link later on the group. I started with DXY. Okay? Thank you very much for your time. I wish you all a profitable trade. FOMC week. Please be conservative. Be conservative. Don't over leverage. Use stop loss on all the trade you execute. Please don't over leverage. The market is going nowhere. Take it easy on the market, okay? The market is going. Give me a message on WhatsApp, or you drop it on the WhatsApp during the week. Bye for now. Mr. Theophilus, send me a message on WhatsApp. I believe you have my WhatsApp number. My number is 080-378-36189. 080-378-36189. Send me a message on WhatsApp. Good night, guys. Good night.